Going through the front entrance living room. If you take a look up here from water damage, we do have texture and drywall above, potentially plaster falling apart, which will affect the light as well. Bubbling water from where I presume the fire was put out above. Water came down, traveled down. Part of the flooring now is compromised due to the texture falling and the conditions with the weather being cold. This floor may need to be addressed. On this side here, we do have visible staining on the outside front wall. Texture will have to be tested for asbestos. And basically for the living room here, we are looking at doing a 2-foot cut above the perimeter of the wall, removing the ceiling, removing the flooring, all the baseboard, throughout, and outside wall. Main floor unit, again, living room entrance. We do have physical staining on the floor where the water did come out, which has compromised the hardwood, as water, chances are, did get down in between to affect the subfloor below. Thermal imaging does verify that there is water throughout the entire ceiling of the main floor living room. Visual and thermal imaging do confirm full damage throughout. We also have traces of water above the outside door coming down the exterior wall as well. We do have water coming down the outside driveway side wall as well as the interior to kitchen wall. Main floor unit, kitchen. As you can tell, we do have visual peeling of the paint drywall here from water damage. We do have visible signs of water staining on the wall here. We do have visible water staining throughout the ceiling, all the way through, with cracking here, which means that built-in cabinets throughout will have to come out. Visible water staining from above on top of the fridge. And if we look behind here, we have visible water staining going into the bulkhead, above and behind the cabinets. Main floor unit, laundry area. We do have visible water staining in the ceiling above. We do have visible cracking on the drywall here with water staining showing. I would suggest that the tile wall come off, as we're going to have to do an inspection in behind for moisture, damaged drywall, as well as damaged insulation. Main floor unit, hallway leading to the back door. We do have visible water staining in the ceiling. It is sporadic. We do have a fresh crack over here. And in the closet, we do have paint peeling on the outside wall. Peeling and cracking throughout the closet, as well as above the door. If we go back further, we do have visible water staining on the rear entrance ceiling, as well as water staining and marking on the outside wall to the rear entrance where the window is located. Entrance linen closet, we do have water staining on the ceiling and wall from above. We are currently in the main floor bathroom. We do have a ton of water staining on the ceiling and walls throughout this room. We do have some unfinished drywall, but unfortunately we will have to take this out in order to mitigate the loss of water damage. And if you want to take a look, we do have it coming through the ceilings, which will travel behind the walls, as well as the fan, up throughout, and as well as over the tubs around. This room will have to be taken apart due to the water damage and possible water in between walls. Main floor unit, we are currently in the back hall closet where the bedrooms and bathroom are located. We do seem to have some soot damage in here, as well as water running down the walls, signs of water in the closet itself. We are currently in the hallway leading back to the 2 bedrooms. As you can see, we do have visible water staining from above running down both sides of the hallway wall, which will have to be opened to verify. If there's any damage in behind, we also have a stress crack or a crack related to the water in the ceiling. Again, continuous hardwood floor throughout, so living room, dining room, hallway back to the bedrooms, and bedrooms will have to be addressed. We are currently in the main floor bedroom. As you can see, the outside wall was affected. We'll have to open this wall up and at least 2 feet of the ceiling over here to see where the damage has led. As well, we do have water damage and signs of water entry in the closet. We do have baseboard with issue as well as water staining above. A lot of the runoff is coming from the outside wall above. As you can tell from the baseboard below, there is an issue on this outside wall. Main floor unit, last bedroom on the end of the unit. We do have visible damage on the outside wall. Everything else in this room does look good, but once the wall is opened and about 2 feet of the outside ceiling here, we will discover or potentially discover more damage, and we'll update and revise it accordingly. Outside wall, you can tell was compromised at 100%. Ceiling has dried up, but visually you can tell, and we are sitting at 15.8% on the ceiling so far. Leading into kitchen, 100% compromised on the wall. In the kitchen, 100% compromised on the wall. .9% after the bulkhead for the stairwell. .4% on this wall, which is at risk. .4%, which shows that it's above average throughout. Ceiling in the kitchen is at risk at 18.5%. bulkhead in cabinets, 19.1%, 18.8%, which is still above average and at risk. 476 main floor unit, we do have physical damage to the door where the fire department did break in for the door and jamb. We also have soot staining throughout the aluminum siding and soot throughout the soffit. Physical soot throughout the soffit, which will cause yellowing and staining. We are currently going into Unit C to do our walkthrough. Currently entering Unit C entrance. As you can tell, there is soot and water staining throughout this entire area, on the carpet and throughout all the walls and ceiling. You can see soot coming through here. Actual burn and bubbling on the drywall here. Railings are damaged. Drywall damage above, as well as bubbling here. And as you come up the stairs, you can see that the entire ceiling is starting to come down. Okay. Unit C, as we enter the top of the stairwell into the unit, you can see that the hallway continues with damage throughout. We will have some open electrical that would have received some damage as well that will have to be inspected. Laminate floor throughout is completely ruined and buckled, as well as water staining throughout, paint peeling off the walls tremendously, and debris throughout the entire unit. We are currently entering the first bedroom at the top of the stairs to the right in Unit C. And if you come on in, as you can see, we do have an exposed electrical panel box, which means that we'll have to follow this chase throughout the entire building in order to guarantee that there is no smoke or soot damage. If you go around the entire perimeter of the ceiling, you can see the crown molding is buckled. The ceiling is falling apart. Throughout with water staining, the carpet is ruined with soot, cannot be salvaged. The ceiling, textured ceiling, which will be tested for asbestos, has soot staining throughout, as well as the lights, electrical, window, and the walls throughout are starting to peel and buckle. And if you come over here, you can definitely see that there is damage from above. Throughout this entire unit, inside the bedroom closet, you have paint peeling throughout. This will be a full gut. After the bedroom, you turn left at the top of the stairs and you have the bathroom. Now if you enter, as you can see, this bathroom has seen better days. We have full paint throughout, full drywall, plaster, throughout, tub surround, tub, vanities, cabinets, toilets. This will be a full gut. As you can tell, this will be a full gut. The laminate flooring is buckled and completely ruined. Main cause, or the fire did enter above and came down below throughout. This will be tested for plaster, blown in insulation, new window, new flooring, full gut in this room. We are now in the kitchen, and as you can see, the fire was above us. The entire ceiling in the kitchen, plaster and lath, is completely ruined. All the appliances are ruined. The kitchen cabinets are no longer salvageable. Flooring no longer salvageable. This will be a full gut. Water staining throughout all the walls, windows, and doors. Unit C, again, we're going through with the thermal imaging camera. We will get some off results due to the weather conditions, but as you can tell, the visual damage does show through the thermal camera that there is moisture or was moisture throughout this area. Of the hallway. And then we're going to go into the bedroom here to prove the same. And as mentioned, it's not standing out as much. If this place was heated, the moist areas, wet areas would stand out a lot more, but you can see the faint blue in behind to show that there is damage as reported visually throughout this entire unit. We're going to go over to the bathroom to confirm the same. Even though you can visually tell, this will dictate that there is still damage trapped throughout the building. And then we're going to go over to the dining room area again to show. Now this one is coming because we do have a cold wall in behind. So it is showing that we do have damage still throughout the entire dining room area. Really heavy damage throughout the dining room area. And then over to the kitchen. You can see on all the walls and ceiling, the faint blue will show, along with the visual water staining, that there is damage throughout this entire unit so far. Pantry closet off the kitchen, outside wall, faint blue in behind, shows that there is water damage trapped within that wall. The fire was located directly above us, which would indicate that water did travel through this entire unit ceiling. We are currently in the living room at the rear of the building. If you look over here, you can see that the tape joint does show water damage throughout here. Now we're not getting any moisture readings on this wall. It's reading about 16, but thermal imaging and nail popping does show that there is water damage as well as visible. Now again, the light blue above the door is going to show this area. We also have physical water staining at the window around the trim, and thermal imaging showing that there could be an issue underneath the window. Above, below the casing, water would have entered in through this side. On this side, we also have water staining along the top, as well as water staining on the trim, above and below. This wall will have to be opened along with this wall and a portion of the ceiling on this side. As we come further down, we see damage on the rear outside wall. Above on the trim and below, as well as the window frame itself, which will have soot. Thermal imaging does show that there could be issues above the window, a bit in the ceiling. Again, very faint blue due to the temperatures outside and inside the unit, and below the window. Moisture readings on this wall. Are sitting at 15.3. And 16.6 at the base. As we move this way, we see less damage in this corner. We do have an attic hatch, which we'll have to go up through to investigate, as well as soot staining on the hinges and door itself. As we come through this way, clean and paint. And open up this section of the electrical chase in order to see where it leads and where the soot may have went. As well, the laminate floor is no longer salvageable. I'm just going to slowly go through with my thermal imaging to see if we can pick up any signs of moisture throughout. And again, due to the temperature, it is a very faint blue in behind. That is a window. Go into the kitchen. But we do show signs of light blue up in the ceiling over the kitchen area. All relative humidity readings in this room are between 15.3 and 16.9. In the first bedroom, there is no visual damage in this room, and the infrared does not pick up anything, and the moisture readings come anywhere from 14.8 to 15.1. We are currently in the second bedroom. Thermal imaging and moisture readings along with visual do not show any damage in this room. Paint clean, potentially change out the floor due to traffic and damage, but we do have physical signs of water damage inside the closet itself. As you can see, we do have the tape letting go here. On the side, we have visual water staining and soot on the back wall, as well as water staining along the perimeter and throughout the door jamb. This would make me believe that this ceiling would have damage in the bedroom and would have to come out as well, or at least a 2-foot cut until we can no longer find any damage. There is also minor water staining on the baseboard below, near the window. The adjoining bedroom wall, as you can see behind the quarter round. There is stain in here, which would make me think that water did travel underneath this wall. We'll have to do an inspection cut to ensure that there's no damage here, and we'll have to remove the floor to ensure that there's no water trapped underneath. Still in Unit C kitchen, moisture readings. As you can see where the water staining is on the outside wall. We are sitting just under risk level. We are at risk level at 17.9%. And on the ceiling, we are at full saturation. Coming into the dining room, the ceiling again, full saturation, walls are at risk at 17.1. Currently in the bathroom, still in Unit C, moisture readings. Ceiling is at 100%. And walls around tub surround bulkhead are also at 100%. And for spin, we'll just do the bedroom. This is the landing coming up the stairs to Unit C. Again, walls are at 100%. Front bedroom. We're still reading 100%. And we're still reading 100% throughout. Good. Okay. Currently still in Unit C, we are heading up to the attic / loft space. On our way up to the attic loft space, hallway. This is where the fire did happen, up on this level. We do have total saturation throughout the area still.
Okay.
We are currently in the loft attic space where the fire did happen, take place. As you can tell, full gut throughout. Soot staining throughout the entire attic space, which will have to be sealed in. All new insulation, all new drywall, full gut, sealed in, new flooring, and structural roof repairs once everything is torn out to evaluate the situation in the structure. Hallway leading up to Unit C. Moisture reading sitting at compromised 100%. Unit A. We have a moisture reading on the drywall that does show physical damage of 19%. If you can get a look at this. (18.4), 19%. Visible water staining on the ceiling, as well as water staining in the light shade, which would indicate that water did find its way down to this section of the unit. We currently have Unit A in the basement. Okay, we're currently in the kitchen on Unit A, and we are showing physical water staining on the railing coming down, as well as water moisture still in the ceiling, sitting at 18%, which is at risk. We do have a light shade full of water as well as electrical right beside it. We do have physical water staining on the cabinets, below the cabinets, and on the floor itself, which is sitting at 19.6%, 19.7% at risk. You filming? We're currently going through the living room / dining room in Unit A at 476 Main Street. I do not see any physical or visual damage yet, and my meter is not picking up anything. We do have signs of water coming down the back wall here, sitting at 15.6%, which is above where we need to be. So we may have to open this wall in order to see if there's any damage in behind the insulation vapor barrier, as well as the continuous laminate flooring throughout that will have to be changed due to the water damage. This is a paint and clean so far in the living room of Unit A, 476 Main Street, Shediac. As we went through the room, we did find that there is moisture at 20.1% trapped in the bulkhead. Cord around will have to come down, which means that we will be getting into the texture of the ceiling and potentially having to come out 2 feet. 100% saturation underneath the bulkhead, and visible water staining to show that the water did come out behind the quarter round. There are bubbles in the texture as well. Could be previous damage or a repair, but we will have to remove in order to get the moisture and properly dry out in behind the bulkhead, which again is showing that compromised 100%. Currently in Unit A kitchen, going to the bedroom area. We have an inside wall that my meter just shut off on. And we are currently sitting at risk at 19.8%. Stairwell wall, we are currently sitting at 50.5%. As we come through, bathroom. I'll need a light for this one. Currently in the bathroom, moisture reading on the ceiling is sitting at 100%. Outside wall, 100%. Area above tub, trim, 17%. Tub surround, tub, toilet will all have to be removed as well as the tile around the wall and the wall mounted sink. Full gut in the bathroom. As we come over here, in the hallway, we're sitting at 17.1%, which is at risk. Paneling on the walls. Would help if my meter was turned on. We're sitting at 17.9%, which is also at risk. We move now into the bedroom of Unit A. Visual inspection. Show some water staining right above here. Light shade full of water. And moisture reading currently at 17.9%, which does show that there's still moisture trapped in that wall or ceiling. Adjoining wall to kitchen and dining room, currently sitting at 17.3.4% at risk. Bulkhead in bedroom at Unit A, reading 100%. Moisture trapped inside the bulkhead. Utility room. We do have 9x9 tile that will have to be tested for asbestos, along with all the water tanks and electrical chases that do come down through. This room is currently covered with paneling on the ceiling and 3/4 of the wall. You can see some physical water staining. Outside concrete wall. This room will have to be emptied and cleaned. Water staining on top. Chances are the water tanks are no longer operational at this point. And it does look like we have the plumbing chase coming in, which we will have to attempt to clean out or open from above in order to access this open area to the basement. We currently have a 9x9 tile, which will be tested for asbestos. We're just currently checking out the laundry room at 476 Main Street, Shediac, Unit A. We do have visible water staining in the ceiling. Moisture reader is sitting at about 15%. No water in this light. Bulkhead is sitting at 18.2% at risk. Washer dryer, carpet should definitely come out due to contamination. We do have some stress cracks here. We do have water in the bulkhead, could be related, drywall repair. We have some more visible water staining on this side. Paint, clean, drywall repair, remove carpet, remove bulkhead, sanitize, dry. Apartment D, entranceway coming in from the driveway side. You can look up, you can see the physical water damage on the ceiling. And we'll be going down to the unit now to document the damage in the floor and ceilings. Entering the unit. Coming in from the entry, the previous water damage on the ceiling and walls. We can see that there is damage on the floors as well. There are stress cracks in the ceiling, so to be safe, because the water came from above, we will be removing all ceilings and flooring in this unit. We will be going through again. This is the living room area. If you come closer over here, you can see, zoom into the floor starting to buckle. In the living room area, enter into the kitchen, you can see some buckling and separation in the floor. And we will head back to the bedroom. Heading into the hallway, if you look down, you can see some buckling and separation in the laminate flooring here as well. Leading down into the bedroom, you can see some cupping and bowing in the laminate flooring. Possible water trapped underneath, and in here you can see in the ceiling that there is some stress cracking.